Howdy neighbors, I'm Mac McCarty, bringing you another episode of the Rough and Tumble channel. This story today it's about a guy that I had I just really liked him. He was a big guy, powerful man, lineman, worked with me out in the oil field, and he just was a fun guy to be with. There were a lot of them that were characters out there. Oil field is full of them, and so is line work, just to be honest about it. But of course, I want to say again, I sure appreciate y'all joining in, those of you that have commented, and it's been a pleasure. But I wanted to talk about this fella whose name was RQ, and he just was a really good lineman and just a great guy to work for. Boy, if the going was tough, you could depend on this fella. There was no doubt about it. He just was dependable. Well, they had sent us down. It was winter time. Work would tend to get a little slow during the winter, and we would find ourselves trimming out right-of-way on one of the Amoco leases. It had to be done, and they kind of had worked a deal. Rather than getting these tree contractors in there, it would help keep us busy through the slower months. And of course, it could be some pretty tough work getting out there and doing it. Now, my wife and I had drove down 42 south down there south of Carlisle, Turnertown, and by the way, I'm wearing this Turnertown tuxedo again. You'll notice that that's what I wear most of the time. That's what I love to wear. Just like my granddad that's in this picture over here on the wall. I don't guess you can see him right now, but he worked for Humble and was a rig builder. But this guy, RQ, and I and the crew, we were all down on the Amoco RJ Burton lease, trimming line. And soon, my wife and I, as we had just gone down the highway there south of Price, I looked down that right-of-way where that transformer platform bank was, and I said, look at that bank is falling down. And a little sad, those wells they're dried up. But this particular time was winter time. They were still going great guns, these wells. And Foreman and some of the others were on the west side of the bank, and we had gone down on the east side of the bank, myself and RQ. Well, we'd been cutting a while, and as the day wore on, I kind of got the call of nature. I think you can understand what I'm saying. And so I eased on further down through the woods there and found me a place. Tended to business, but I saw this big old black snake. Now, I don't remember if it was a great big chicken snake or some kind of water snake, but the thing was huge. And I went over there and stepped on it and grabbed it behind the head. And I held my arm up, and that thing started curling around my arm. And he's about that big around and about 7 foot long, and he just curled and curled and curled. And he came all the way like this, up here, curled up. And I'm holding his head right out here. And so I start walking back to the right of way and down the right of way, and I saw old RQ over there, and he was cutting trees with a brush axe. Now I want to show you what a brush axe is. Folks, this is a brush axe. You see me, I'm not a little fella, and that's a brush axe. It's sharp on both sides with that hook bill on it. It's a dangerous tool. But I kid you not, old RQ could take that brush axe and with one strike cut a tree off this big around. I'm telling you, he knew how to hit it at the exact angle, and he could take a sapling off that big with one swipe. He was a very powerful man. That wasn't the kind of guy you wanted to be jacking with, I can tell you that. Well, anyway, he was just busy as he could be cutting those trees, and I come easing up through there. He never heard me because he's so busy working, chopping. And I got, I'd say within 5 feet of him. I said, RJ, look. And he turned around, and man, that look on his face and that blood in his eyes, and he raised that brush axe up over his head. He said, boy, you take one more step toward me and I'm cutting your arm off. Son, there wasn't no doubt in my mind I was about to lose an arm. That boy meant it. That boy was going to cut my arm off. And I said, hey, okay. I said, let me ease back here. And I started easing back. And I let that old snake go. I said, boy, you getting a little serious, aren't you? He said, man, I'm afraid of snakes. I said, no kidding. I said, son, I had no clue you were that afraid of snakes. I didn't think this boy was afraid of anything. I've seen him in situations I just didn't think he was scared of anything. And that day I found out he had a fear of snakes. Well, it's great to work with him, and it just about kills me to say that later he got hung up 7,200 and lost this left hand, this finger on this hand, lost a lung, and was retired. Man, it's one of the moments in this, this life, one of the things that's happened that it's tough. It's tough, because when you like people, you certainly don't want them hurt. But in this business, and in the oil field in general, it's just plain dangerous. It's dangerous. And so, in tribute to RQ and to all of those out there with their lives on the line every day, danger at every moment. And thanks to them, we can enjoy the conveniences that we enjoy. I'm retired now, and I know I sure enjoy the conveniences we have. Well, folks, that's another story from the Rough and Tumble. If you would, you can like. I don't expect anything. That's what they tell me you should do. A real nice lady has helped me set up this channel. She's a champ. She's a champ. She's been good to me and helped me with this. And my wife and I, we just think she's just top notch. And so, like, if you can, and I look forward to seeing another one. Thanks again. I'm Mac McCarty from the Rough and Tumble.